Let us all strive to be worthy of Aurobindo's centenary.
அனைவருக்கும் மாலை வணக்கம். On behalf of Aurobindo Society, Chennai, I welcome you all to this Saturday evening satsang. At the outset, let us thank the Mother and Aurobindo for having provided us this great opportunity. Today, our speaker is Mrs. Sujata Pati. She is not new to us. She spoke in our satsang earlier also, and she visited our society a couple of times There also she gave a talk. She had her schooling in ashram school. She had her early education in ashram school. Thereafter, she is involved in the integral yoga of the mother in Sri Aurobindo by establishing a center, or rather an ashram, in Brahmansuku. It's a small village in Odisha. This Brahmansuku, her entire family is devoted to that. She has established many ashram there. She has given a brief account of what she is doing there. I'll read out for the benefit of the listeners. Brahmansuku, as the name suggests, is a direct call from the Supreme Brahman. This particular place had an aspiration of its own, which was vivid when the divine work started over there physically in the year 2012. Although a tribal inhabited area, the simplicity and acceptance of the villagers brought forward immense possibility in them once the direct work of the mother and Sri Aurobindo started. The ashram was established initially like any other tribal village. Initially like any other tribal village, the children and adults seemed to be quite satisfied with their way of living. But gradually, as the Patha Chakra activities, Patha Chakra means, what she means by that is a study circle. But gradually, as the Patha Chakra activity started in the village and nearby areas, it opened the doors to a new way of life for them. The place where education was the last thing to be thought of became a place where parents started understanding the true value of education. The people were habituated in drinking alcohol and used filthy languages, which also influenced the kids. Quarrel and shouts were the natural scenes on the road most of the times. Gradually, when children had the impact of ashram, they influenced their families. And gradually those things diminished. And now the generation is quite aware of the negative impact of alcohol. But as it is surrounded by many other villages and they have their land nearby, we had to face some challenges. Even here the people were a bit suspicious about our intention. Mother's grace that helped us to face them calmly. And we have taken up the activities like farming, dairy farm, hostel for the children who will stay in this spiritual environment, joining in nearby schools. A small-scale center is started for the convenience of the village people. Small rice mill and a mill for the millets have been installed. We are also making agarbatti and flower pots. But due to the lack of manpower to maintain this is a challenge for us. The prime activity is Patha Chakra, that is study circle, in different villages, schools, etc. Spread the messages of the mother and Sri Aurobindo. This year, we are trying to involve all government schools to celebrate the 150th birth anniversary of our Lord. So this is just a brief description she has given. Not only that, her entire family, her daughter, her husband, they have devoted their lives to the cause of the mother in Sri Aurobindo. So it's very inspiring work she is doing. She had contacts with the mother on her birthday when she was studying in ashram school. She had contacts with the mother, and she used to get blessings on her birthdays. Thank you so much, Sujata Madam, that you have been kind enough to participate in our satsang. I now request you to please take over this meeting and give your talk. Thank you very much. Over to you, Madam.
Thank you, sir. Om Shri Aurobindo Mira, open my mind, my heart, my life to your light, your love, your power. In all things, may I see the divine. Shri Mata Sharanam, Shri Aurobindo Sharanam. And my humble respect to all my brothers and sisters present in this session. It's a privilege for me to be among you all and speak a few lines on the light of Mother and Shri Aurobindo. As we know, today's topic of discussion is the ways to face the challenges in life. What do you mean by challenge? You must have heard of people saying, life is a challenge, face it. Because in life, we often meet with new and difficult situations, which requires great effort to face them. Although man always crave for peace, happiness, peace of mind, a healthy life, etc. But life is never that smooth and easy. The challenges starts from the childhood itself. What are the common challenges in life? So challenges may come from outside as situations. Like childhood challenges, we can say the challenges of student life. Securing good marks, be a topper. Even if you do not understand the lessons, or you are not interested in some subject, you cannot remember what you have read, but still you have to secure good marks to satisfy your teachers, your parents, etc. So nowadays, so many competitions, entrance exams in our time, and I remember only board exam was enough to qualify for the college. But now, even after appearing board exam, you have to appear individually. Entrance exam for getting admission into into colleges. So now for that too, you have to go through all sorts of challenges the children have to face. So next, competition for after qualifying, after getting the finishing the studies, and competition for good professional career. Even after getting into a professional career, you are not free from challenges, which we'll discuss later, of course. So then comes the challenges in family life. Maintain a good relation. Especially in a family life, you have to maintain a good relation among the family members. And that's a great challenge because everyone has their own set of mindset. So to maintain a good relation and harmony among the family members is a challenge. Then maintenance of the family financially, and bringing up the children as the way we want. Then later stage, when we get a little old, what happens? To maintain a good health, which you hadn't given a hit also that time when we were youth. So there's a fight against this old age problems, fight against the illness. So this is again a challenge. Likewise, in every field, we meet with challenges, not only individual, but also challenges collective. So we see, like the epidemic came, we have to fight. The government had to fight. The doctors had to fight. How to invent a vaccine for it. All we have to that meet the challenge, like epidemic, the war situations, the communal riots, hike in prices, etc. These are again the challenges we face. Needless to say, there are many challenges we have to meet. But these are, in fact, so-called challenges. But the real challenges come from the lower parts of our nature as the situations. To rise above our ego, to rise above our greed, rise above our selfishness, above our desire, and challenge against all the wrong movements of all the parts of our being, of the being means of the vital, mind, and physical. So on the whole, we have to rise above our consciousness. From human consciousness to divine consciousness. So it must be a constant effort for it. Especially those who have taken up yoga, anything hidden in the nature will spring up as tests to show that these things still exists in us. Because yoga is done for the sake of the divine, to be united with the divine, to realize the divine. Sri Aurobindo said in the book, The Mother, regard your life as given you only for the divine work and to help in the divine manifestation. When Mother was asked, why are we on earth? She replied, to find the divine who is in each of us and in all things. She also said, life is meant for seeking the divine. Life is realized when finding the divine. So either consciously or unconsciously, we are moving towards the same goal, to realize the divine, to manifest the divine. So, but when we are conscious of the goal or the aim of our life and put an effort to it, it can be said that we are doing yoga or we are on the path of yoga, on the spiritual path. So this journey to the goal is a real adventure. It is the divine, because this goal, which means the divine manifestation on earth, coming up of a new race. Mother said, it is a question of a new creation, entirely new, with all the unforeseen events, the risks, the hazards it entails, a real adventure whose goal is certain victory. So, we must take our life as an adventure. We do not know what will happen next. So, whatever challenges we may have to face, we must be ready for it. An example, like see what the ways we'll see. What are the ways when situation, first thing, when situation becomes a challenge to face, it matters how do we perceive it. This is one way I'm just speaking of. When the situation becomes a challenge for us, it matters how do we perceive it, how do we look at it. Example, 3 students appeared, some students appeared exams and 3 students failed. So all the 3 of them had worked hard, had tried their best, had put an effort, but when they failed, the first student took it to be an insulting and a serious matter, as if he has lost everything in life. So fear of parents, fear of teachers, fear of society made him so depressed that he thought of withdrawing from life and he did suicide. And the second boy thought, oh, I studied so much, but of no use. Unnecessarily, I'm wasting my time. So let me see some other thing. So instead of wasting time in studying, so he left studies. And now the third boy thought, probably my preparation was not enough. It's an opportunity for me to go more deeply and be more thorough in my studies. On each subject, I'll be more thorough. It's an opportunity for me. He took it as an opportunity. So he became more serious in his studies without caring for others' comments or remarks. He started his studies. So as we see, the challenge was the same, but each of them reacted differently according to their own viewpoint. So if from childhood, the main thing comes here, so if from childhood they would have been taught and or said about the real purpose of life, what is our true aim, then they would have looked at the situation in the way that it ought to be. So mother said, these small superficial things are of very little importance if compared to the mission we have to fulfill on earth. So we attach too much importance to it. After some years, we realize that these are so superficial. Now we see, no one will ask me, what was the percentage in my matriculation exam? Or what degree I achieved? So only one thing is asked of everyone, how are you? When we meet people, so first thing, or when we call up someone, first thing we asked, how are you? So it shows. So whatever may be the outer situation, it doesn't matter. But still, whatever may be the situation, still, are we in good mental and physical condition? So this is one thing, to look at the challenge, the viewpoint towards the challenge. How do we look at it? And the second, to face the challenge in life, the best way is to have an unshakable faith in the divine. Reliance in the divine alone. We are so lucky to be born in this era where the Divine Mother has herself descended upon earth in human form. She is ready to help. So she says, let us think only of the big work to be done, which we said, Shrivananda said, why we have come upon earth, what is the purpose of our life, the goal. So that is the work to be done. So the mother says, let us think only of the big work to be done. The ideal that Sri Aurobindo has given us to realize, I will help. So mother says, if we try, if we give an effort to that, she will help. She is with us to help. To one of the sadhika also she said, why don't we live when the people are so much worried, when they complain of things, mother used to say, leave all the burdens of your life to me, I will take care. So what more assurance she could have given? What can be more soothing and consoling? So from our side, we must keep she will do the thing, but from our side, we must keep our faith intact. So we shouldn't be shaken by the outer circumstances. Our faith should not be shaken. So if we need help, we can ask. Sometimes we think when we need some help from others, from the people, we can ask for the help. But whomever we think is the right person, we can ask. But our entire dependence will be on the mother alone, our entire reliance. So just tell mother, we can tell mother, mother, I'm trying, giving my effort. Otherwise, I'll be just tamasic, like Shriramda said. It's a tamasic surrender. Oh, mother will do everything for me. It's not that. We can give an effort. We will try. As once a little boy was there, a boy of class 10 or something like that, when he saw his friend coming in a scooty. So he thought, let me just ask him, said, how much, what is the cost of this scooty? He said, it costs a lot, she only said. Then what he did, whatever pocket money his father used to give him, he started collecting them. So once his father and mother, his parents observed that and asked, why aren't you eating up? Why aren't you getting your tiffin in that? Why do you collect the money? So he said, Papa, I want to buy a scooty. So Papa laughed at it. He said, whatever money we're giving, we're just giving for your snacks and all these things. It's just pocket money. How can we'll collect, and how many years it will take when we'll get the scooty? And by the time the scooty company will be closed, I think. Then, but he said that. But the next day, the boy found that his father had brought the scooty. So it is to say that, likewise, we don't have that faculty, that much strength to do. But when we give an effort, mother will do the thing for us. So we can just tell mother, mother, I'm giving the effort without any expectation. But because we're approaching others for help, but we have got reliance only on the mother. And we tell mother that, mother, you know what is the best for me, for this situation. Let thy will be done. So then we'll see actually how help will come, who will help, and who will be the instrument. All will be decided by her. Sometimes the situation may not come according to our will, as we wish. We think, oh, we need this type of help, so this type of help will come. It may not be. If we are sincere in our aspiration, mother will do according to her what is best for us. Though there are many incidents, you see, many incidents, but one incident I will narrate here. Once a lady, it is in one of the villages in Odisha, a lady who had arranged a program for the annual day of the residential study circle. She had prepared the prasad, and she had estimated almost she had anticipated around 50 people. So when she prepared the prasad, then she saw the next day, when after arranging everything, she saw people coming. Like when she saw that almost 150 people are there, they had already prepared for 50 people. And there was nothing, no arrangements just nearby to get the vegetables or rice or anything. So what to do? So what did she do? She just went inside and sat in the front of the mother's photo and started doing japa. Japa means repeating mother's name, ma, ma, ma. She started repeating. Then she went on repeating the name without coming outside. Then what happened? After some time, the people who were serving the food, one of them came and asked, Didi, please come, let us have the food. Then she opened her eyes and said, but let others take first. All have finished, they have already gone. Only few are left. Please come and we shall take the prasad. So when she came, they saw after all have finished, just there is still sufficient food for the remaining people. So just tear of gratitude rolled down her cheeks. Because only for 50 people they had prepared. Now more than 150 people had taken the prasad. So this is the faith and aspiration, with love. When someone calls mother, she's always there to help. So someone asked mother, she remained so calm. First of all, she was not disturbed. She remained calm. She went to mother and called her and went on repeating with full devotion and faith that she will take care. I don't have to worry. So then someone asked Mother, Mother, can calm give a solution to all problems? Mother said, yes, but for this, calm must be perfect in all the parts of the being so that the power may express itself through it. So calm must be perfect. Why she said calm must be perfect? Because in all the parts of the being, if in any part of the being there is doubt, confusion, restlessness, all these things, it blocks the grace to work uninterruptedly. So that's why Mother says the first state is perfect calm and equanimity. And she says, you must learn to be calm and quiet even in the midst of difficulties. This is the way to overcome the obstacles. So whatever may be the situation, whatever challenges we have to face. So first thing, we have to remain quiet and calm, and we have to maintain an equanimity. Now third, this is one of the way. Another, we have to be fearless and courageous. The Mother says, fear is always a bad advisor. So when we fear of something, immediately whatever decision we take, it's always a wrong one. So all fear must be overcome. When Mother says, fear is always a bad advisor. So all fear must be overcome and replaced by a total confidence in the divine grace. So fear must be overcome and replaced by total confidence in the divine grace. Because when we fear, we do not know the whole thing. We just know a part of things, so we fear. And we don't have that reliance on the Mother. That's why we fear. So when we have that reliance and total confidence in the divine grace, the fear will be no longer. Because we'll have, as a small child is with his mother, whatever may come on the way, he'll say, oh, I am with my mom. Mom will take care. Mom is there. I will complain to mom. So similarly, like a baby cat, we must get hold of the mother. We must leave ourselves to the mother, and she will take care. And we should have that the confidence in her grace. Mother is with us. There's nothing to fear. So it is by shaking off the fear, Mother's force can work fully and help us to face any challenge in life. Recently, an incident had happened in Puducherry. Now it is called as Puducherry. Some national boxers from Coimbatore had come to Pondicherry for participating in some boxing events, the women boxers, with their coach. So that time, a group of teachers from one of the Sri Aurobindo Integral School of Odisha, they had been to visit Sri Aurobindo Ashram, as every year they go, and that time also they had been there. And one evening they were on the sea beach. So one of them, a boy who was only 21 years old, he was an ex-student of that school itself. For now, in which school he is a teacher, he was an ex-student there. So that boy, suddenly he noticed that a crowd was there, and he went through the crowd and saw that the current is driving away two ladies. He didn't know that they were the boxers. Actually, they were those boxers who had come for the events. And 3 people were getting drowned. So he just dived into the water with Mother's name and pulled out 2 of them. But the coach could not be found. With them, the coach was also there. The coach could not be found. He could not be saved. But the boys saved the 2 lives, 2 national boxers. So there were so many people. Even the guards, the coastal guards were there. But this boy courageously taking mother's name, taking every risk of his life, dived into the sea. How could he take this challenge? From where did this fearlessness come? So this fearlessness was based on the faith on the mother. Being a student of the integral education, where along with the physical, mental and vital education, psychic education is the most important part of it. The children are taught to be fearless, depending exclusively on the mother and trying to discover the psychic being, which is the real purpose of our life, as we have already discussed. So one who belongs to the divine has nothing to fear. Here belonging means for him, nothing is more important than the relation with the divine. Words, thought, action, all should be an expression of the divine alone. So mother says, what can he fear who belongs to the divine? Can he not walk, his soul expanding and his brow illumined upon the path the divine traces for him? Whatever it may be, even if it is altogether incomprehensible to his limited reason. So human mind is limited, has limitations. With this we cannot understand what the divine wants of us. But if we rely on the mother, we can walk on the path she has decided for us. And fearlessly we can tread on the way, as she will give us the knowledge what to do and show us the path. Then next way, fourth is remember and offer. When some challenge come on our way, first we think we will face it. So it's not that. We will face it, but with the help of the mother. If we call mother, she'll show us the right way, right path. That's why when we forget her, actually challenging life becomes very hazardous and sometimes impossible to face. But when we remember her and surrender our burden to her, she takes up all the responsibility. So we must be knowing, when Chhatrapati Shivaji ruled the state, he had so many worries, tension, lots of challenges he had to face. So he told to his guru of this thing, Guru Samarth Ramdas. Once Ramdas appeared in the court when Shivaji was sitting on his throne and asked Shivaji for Guru Dakshina. So I am a Guru, so you should give some Dakshina to me. So Shivaji said, yes, you are my Guru, so whatever you want, I am ready to give. Ramdas said, so give me your kingdom. Shivaji immediately got up. From the throne and made him sit on the throne and declared him king. Ramdas smiled and stood up and ordered Shivaji, now as a king, I order you to sit on the throne on my behalf and rule the kingdom and give me the report. Shivaji happily did it. When Guru asked, how do you feel now? He said, oh, it's a great relief. The same thing he did. But what was the difference? Why did he get the relief? Because now he surrendered all the burden of his life to his Guru. He will take the burden. He will take care. Now he has only to do the work which the Guru will show for him. So this is the thing. So when we surrender our entire responsibility to her, it is she who will handle it. But when we say, but sometimes what happens when we say, I have surrendered? But when situation comes, we say, we surrendered it to the divine. I said, yes, I have surrendered. But it is just a words, do we really surrender? Because after that, many times the thing will come again will be in a dilemma, what to do, how to do, etc., etc. So that is not real surrender. We start again pondering over the problem. So how can it be real surrender? So we have to remain calm after surrendering and be occupied with her work. We should be occupied with her work. If we do her work, we have nothing to worry about because she will take care of the things which worries us. So of course, surrender is not that easy. It needs a strong determination because we most of the time forget to remember her, remember the mother. So the most simple and effective way is japa, chanting of her name, Ma, 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 Ma. So in this name, it has a great power. So Sri Aurobindo has also said about it. Mother, when asked that give us some mantra to repeat, Mother said, when you get up in the morning, chant my name for 10 minutes, Ma, Ma, Ma. And before going to sleep, chant my name, Ma, Ma, Ma. And now, if you chant at each time, and it will remain, all the obstacles will eliminate, all the difficulties will disappear. All this will have the courage to face the challenge. So moreover, and this japa will purify our mind, life and body. So while facing a challenge, if we call mother, like as I said, Ma, 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 with sound, or even without sound with lip movements, because it will make us aware, it will make us conscious that we are doing the japa. If we say, yes, we are doing japa inside, most of the time we forget and we deceive ourselves in that way. So, this is the way which we can remember that, yes, I was doing something. Now I've stopped. Then I'll remember that, oh, I was calling mother. Now I've forgotten. Again, I'll start doing the japa. So, with that, along with the japa, we'll have that feeling inside us and we'll tell the prayer to mother, we'll pray to the mother that, Mother, I am yours, I'm offering all this at thy feet, my thought, my difficulties, and the situations which I'm going through, all I'm surrendering at your feet. With the japa, this feeling must be there. So we'll see how miraculously the things will change. So now worries, depression, restlessness, it makes our situation get worse. So mother said, even if the things are not as they ought to be, worry doesn't help. Because man is always, anything happens, first worry. Oh, I'm so worried. This is the way we take the things. But mother said, even if the things are not as they ought to be, worry doesn't help to make things better. A quiet confidence is the source of all strength. So in each instant, our only motto is to remember and offer. For that, japa is the simplest way to be conscious. So, and while japa, some says japa can sometimes be mechanical. Like we say, we do the japa and meanwhile we'll be thinking of something or other. But if you are conscious, that also has an impact. But if conscious japa has a great effect. Whenever we work, whenever we do anything, if japa is behind it, if we are doing the japa, the things are also, the work becomes better and in much quicker the work can be finished. So when we work, then now about our work we've discussed how individually we can face the difficulties, face the challenges. But now when we work exclusively for the divine, without seeking any personal benefit, to get anything in return, as the examples are starting a center, an ashram, integral schools, then spreading messages of Mother and Sri Aurobindo, conducting study circles in different villages and schools, houses, then collecting fund for the divine work. So the more sincere we try to become, the more we face the challenge in these things. When we do exclusively for the divine work, the more challenges come in front. So we have to face them. How can we face them? So if you put just an example, we think, oh, if these things brings more challenges, more difficulties, so what is there? Why should we enter in the path? So, an example, if we put the car in the garage in fear of accidents, so we won't know its defects or the problems. So the defect can be detected only in the running state. So similarly, being afraid of the challenges, if one sits in home and leads a secure life, like an easy life, we can never detect our shortcomings and defects. Then how can we expect the transformation? Sri Aurobindo said, without work, transformation cannot be done. There's no way, it's impossible for transformation. So mother is there to take care of our burden only if we keep ourselves open to her. And so we have to be sincere. Sincerity is the surest way to spiritual achievement. So how to be sincere? The small things we can take it. As mother has said, do not pretend, be. Sometimes we pretend, we ourselves, we deceive ourselves, we're pretending. We are that, oh, I'm that, I'm very fine, I'm just, I'm a sadhu, I don't have anger, I don't have selfishness, I'm above this kamana vasana, all these things. So don't pretend, be that. Do not promise, act. Do not dream, realize. Be honest towards yourself, no self-deception. Be sincere towards the divine. And what happens when we try to, sometimes people try to deceive the divine, but the divine won't be deceived, of course. But trying it is a foolishness. So when we try to deceive, why it is a foolishness? When we try to deceive, we fall into our own trap. Example, once Yamdev, as we know, the Lord of Death, he just came to a house to take his life of that boy. So that boy was afraid at first sight. Then gaining some courage, he said, "Oh, Yamdev, you have come. Oh, just sit. I'm making some coffee, preparing some coffee for you." And he prepared the coffee and put some sleeping tablets into it. So Yamdev drank it. He was tired, of course. He was tired, so he just, after drinking it, it felt very refreshing, and he slept off. So when he had slept, that boy saw that he had a chart. He had a list of how many souls he has, or how many lives he has to take that day. So his name was on the top of the list, that boy's name. So what did he do? He turned it upside down. So his name went last of the list. So after some time, Yamdev again woke up and thought, he felt very refreshing, and he said, "Oh, you are so nice. You gave me something to drink, and it was so refreshing. So what I would do, and I will just reverse the list, and the name of the last person will come to the first, and Yamdev reverse the list." So here, what happened? He tried to deceive, but he himself fell into the trap. So we have to be sincere. We should not try to deceive ourselves or not deceive the divine. And whenever we try to deceive, it is our own foolishness, because we fall into our own trap. So now, as the time has come, Sri Aurobindo, this year, Sri Aurobindo, all are celebrating Sri Aurobindo's 150th birthday. this all the 150th 50th anniversary of Sri Aurobindo, as a token of gratitude. So as a token of gratitude to Sri Aurobindo, we have started our journey from 15th August 2021 from his birthplace Kolkata. It's a journey from Janmabhumi to Tapobhumi. From his birthplace Kolkata, and trying to reach as many places as possible, covering different states and covering this different schools and centers and all the, like even in police stations or jail, even in army's places, even in post office, medicals, in every places are trying to cover and spreading his teachings and messages, and especially his 5 dreams. The journey will be completed, and this journey will be completed on 15th August of this year. It had started last year, 15th August from Kolkata, and will end on 15th August at Pondicherry, the Tapobhumi. So it is called out, this journey has been called Janmabhumi to Tapobhumi. So this is a adventurous journey, and in this journey, and you must be knowing, it is not that easy to go from place to place and contact people, arrange study circles or arrange the satsang. But with Mother's grace, when we have faith in that, when we have faith, and we just know we are nothing. She is there to help. It is her work she will do. And with that mission, when they are coming out, many miracles are also happening. But Mother's grace is there, Mother's protection is there, and she is helping. So this yatra is being is a tribute to Sri Aurobindo, and because this I have mentioned this because, as we said, that we are discussing about the challenges, and this is not not a less challenge. This is also a big challenge for us, but Mother is there to take care. In our life also, individual life, collective mission. This Mother is there, but we should remember her and offer her, and she will take care. Now, I'm very much grateful to all. As Shiv Kumarji, he had given me this opportunity. I'm thankful to him and grateful to the Mother for giving me the opportunity. Thanks again. Vande Mataram.
Thank you, Sujata Madam. I leave the forum to the listeners. Any questions are there? You please, you may put to Sujata Madam. Please, any questions, any doubts?
Sir, is it mandatory to remain anonymous, or should I turn on my camera?
I couldn't get it.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yeah, you can turn on your camera.
Yeah, it feels, it is better than... First of all, pranam to all of you. So my question is regarding that, in the previous session, I also talked about how important is SATSANG Dt, and I was looking for a group since a very long time. So Sujata Madam, I'm basically located in Cuttack, Odisha, and my question would be, like these days, we see that there is this new spiritual idea of good life being promulgated by people, that they have a socially constructed idea of life. So when one enters into this yogic path, there they face this challenge of maintaining that ambience, or so to speak, in Aurobindo and Mother's grace. And we often interact with people who engaged in this lower vital or these kind of engagements. And as a result of that, what we see sometimes, that we get contaminated by their idea. And it always happens, it's not like that everybody is not a monolith, so they have different parts of their being, but there is always an exchange. So what would be the modus operandi for us? Like Adi Shankaracharya also emphasizes on this thing, that satsang is important, satsang Dt. And Sri Aurobindo also says, I think in Savitri, only few are those who can tread the sunlit path, and he emphasizes. So, should we remain for the time being, unless and until we are prepared, restrictive, or should we try our best to mold other people? So, what should be the way forward for us as spiritual aspirants, as the as sons and daughters of Mother, to carry out her work? That's my question. Thank you.
Yes, as you said, one thing you said in your question, that until we are prepared.
Yes.
So what do you really mean by this preparation, actually? I would like to know.
By that I mean, like, I acknowledge that I'm at a very primordial stage, and perhaps I'm not the right person for, I'm speaking this in the context of my friends. Like, as a result of this, I have to make some hard decisions with my friends, that I won't be hanging out with them anymore. I won't be interacting with them anymore because of their superficiality and the thing which people usually do in tamasic state. I'm not sure whether I'm using the right word or not. But due to that, I devoted my time entirely to the scripture. So my dictum was, my evaluation to this time was, if, I mean, as a result of their company, they are not evolving, but the ramification of that is I'm devolving with their sangati. So it's better to change the sangati, or even if I don't get any companionship or any good company, so better to devote that time to some spiritual literature, some Vedantic text. So that would be way better vis-a-vis to spending time with people who are engaged in this vitalistic pleasures. And that also applies to my family also. So as a result of that, I have to kind of incubate myself within a room, because there is no other option available. So that is why my question is, what should be the way forward to do this harmony of opposites?
Okay. No, it's a very good question. You have went actually deeper to the thing. You are trying to go deeper. It's very nice. That, in fact, you see, one thing I would, first thing I would tell about of Sangati.
Yep.
As Mother has said, see, we are not that strong enough to be out of the influence, to get out of the influence of the friends and circles. And we have to be very careful in our Sangati. We are choosing our friends. That is one thing. And another thing, the most important thing, as you want to be, your aim is something different. You want to be united with the divine. You want to go in the spiritual path. So you will see that whatever drags you out of the path, you should avoid. Whatever encourages you on the path, you should go forward. Okay? So if you think their friendship with them, you have to, whatever you do not want, that you have to do. It's better you should avoid and spend that time on reading books and listening to the good talks of mother, talks, whatever will help you to trust, to travel on the path for the spiritual journey. This is more important actually. This is the very short, as in one line, mother has also said that whatever pulls you out from your spiritual journey, whatever drags you back, you should avoid, and whatever encourages you, whatever helps you to go forward, that you should move on. So,
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
thanks.
Any other questions? Ma'am, I have one question. You have established this ashram in your place.
Yes.
Almost, I think, for 10 years you have been, 2012, I believe you established this ashram in that place, and you have been doing these activities. Any major challenge? Naturally, so many challenges you must have faced, because this is something significant thing you're doing in your place. Naturally, you might have faced many challenges, but can you name one challenge, a big challenge or something, how you resolved it with the help of the mother?
Can't spot any big challenge, because whatever challenges came on the way, just surrendered it to the mother. And like some incidents one incident I'm narrating. Once, when we started, actually in 2012 the registration was met, and in 2013 the construction started, and 14th to 2014 in June 22nd we started living, and my daughter Sujata Pati and myself, when we started staying here. That time it was absolutely it was isolated place. The village was a little like 100 200 meters away from this from the ashram. So every day we used to go to the, and only two rooms were there, and around it was absolutely open place. We had just set a small temporary boundary, temporary mud wall, a small. Then every evening we would go to the village, to some for the study circle. In Sunday someone's house, in Monday some other house, Tuesday some other house. It was fixed like that, and we used to go. And while returning, it was absolutely dark and night, and with that courage we just call mother and go and come back. Once we are just coming, and when it rains, actually we get down up to our knee also sometimes while coming. So once just when we came, we heard some sound just behind the mud wall, and people were laughing, people were enjoying, and all these types of things. Only we two were there here. So I just called mother. That was it was almost 9:30 or something like that. I don't remember the time. So we prayed mother. We took her name, as I said. Whenever any difficulty comes, we just take her name and chant her name repeatedly, very fast. So we did that, and after some time, what happened? The bike sound was there, and the people went away. So the next day, in the morning, the first thing we did was to go and see that behind the wall what happened. And we saw that chicken and all those pieces were there, and again, bottles, all these things were there. So we thought, why this happened? And we called the people, and we just asked, we said, what is this? All these things in the ashram premises. Actually, we had done that mud wall, only the small wall. So behind that, they thought it's okay to do behind that. But that was still the ashram premise, of course. So when we all these sorts of thing, we tried to explain them anyway, and we could come to know also who were they. And one gentleman was here, and he explained to the boys, you shouldn't do like that and all these things. Okay. After some years, actually, then that time we thought, why did it happen? Why did they dare? How did they dare to do this, do that party here? So after some years, when we were quite acquainted with the village members, one of the old lady, while doing the satsang, she said, at first we had doubt that there must be some other religion and they are trying to put impact on us. So they're trying to influence us. So that's why we're not coming here. But that incident, you remember, they're asking us, you remember that incident when these boys had their feast on chicken and all these things? And the way you both reacted, we could know that no, you are not of those religions. You are absolutely, you belong to the divine, and you just believe in God. And so from that day we knew, and then we could know that now we have no problem in coming here. So they started coming. So it is just thing, so when the things happen sometimes, by the face value, we cannot say that why this happened, we cannot make a conclusion of it. So we cannot derive any conclusion. After that, so many years that we could know, because in everything there is a reason. This happened due to these villagers. They had the faith again that okay, this is the way. When they had to bring the faith, to bring their faith, this thing had to happen. So this is one of the incident I narrated. So this type, and when we closed when we did the fencing, people from other villages, as they have their some plantation in other near ashram, so they said, you leave for the road. We want to go through it, make a passage for us. He said it belongs to the ashram. But how can we do that? So okay, you come. We can discuss on that. But they didn't come up. They just said, you just leave it. Once our mason was doing that, that boundary. They came, we are not there, we had been outside somewhere. So the people came, they didn't have the courage to face us or directly say. Just they used to make a request, but to others they used to say, you tell them, we will close the road, and all these things there were so many things. I can't go in detail. So they came to the mason and said, stop the work. Then he said, okay, I will stop the work. If you pay for me the today's payment, you do the payment, I will stop the work. Then there were also some people, as it is said, when God closes one door, he opens another. So when the problem comes, there are also people who helped us as a being divine instrument. So many things are there. So to one village you had been for study circle, we were sitting. One man suddenly came up and said, What is this? And he started shouting over his voice. Then we said, oh, okay, you just sit and listen. And when he sat and listened, and after some time he said, please, can you come to my house and have this discourse, have a satsang? So this type of things are happening, and it is a challenge for us, of course, to go through it. And so many things I can remember just now. Kesif Kumarji.
Thank you, Sujata Madam. Very inspiring talk you have given today. The main challenge we face is that we have to rise above our lower nature, and all it matters is that how we react to the challenges in life. That matters a lot. And of course, reliance on the divine alone It's a sure way of overcoming the challenges with unshakable faith. And one should remain calm and calling the mother. And we should maintain perfect calm in all parts of our being. And we should be fearless and courageous. And we should have we should rely on the divine grace alone. Because one who belongs to the divine, he has nothing to fear. And of course, you have talked about the mantra, the Maha mantra of the mother, remember and offer. In all circumstances, we should remember the mother and offer the circumstances. Because by surrendering our burden to the mother takes care of it. And automatically all our challenges are being overcome. And the most important thing is that we have to repeat her name. That is a real mantra. By repeating her name, we get an unfailing courage to face any kind of circumstances. Very valuable inputs you have given today. In fact, all of us who are present here are highly motivated, and our faith in the mother is reinforced by listening to you. And on behalf of Sri Aurobindo Society, Chennai, and on behalf of all the devotees who have assembled here, I thank you very much. Thank you very much for your wonderful talk. I request you to please participate again and again in our satsang and share your valuable thoughts with us. Thank you very much. We will close the session now with the prayer music.
Let us all strive to be worthy of Aurobindo centenary.
Gratitude, Ma Bhagavan. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
Gratitude to the mother. Thank you, sir.
Gratitude to the Divine Mother. Thanks to all.
Gratitude, Ma Bhagavan. Thank you all.
Gratitude, Ma Aurobindo. Thank you.
Gratitude, Master Aurobindo. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.